Guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another live stream. We are live on a Wednesday as normal. Obviously, we streamed on the weekend. That was awesome with these two guys below. But this time we have a very special guest. We got Buddy returning to the channel. Welcome back. It's
Thanks for
been
having
quite
me.
a while. Yeah, but it's good to have you back. Obviously, we got some big topics that we're discussing today in regards to. It's literally a full Superman stream.
Jordan, what do you do? Jordan, what do you do? Wait.
Moving stuff.
Oh, I thought it was Lucy trying to come in.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so welcome to everyone that is joining us live in the live chat. For those of you joining, once again, as always, you can send in super chats if you want to be answered on stream by all of us, as Andy always does on Chainsaw. You can be featured on the stream.
The actual money.
Oh my god, he's prepared. Is that your own? You should do that on your own stream if you start streaming again. But yeah, so welcome everyone. Like I said, we got big Superman and Lois topics today. We got the casting news for Superman Legacy, which we're going to talk about first, and then we're going to get fully into Superman and Lois with the season 3 finale that aired last night. I'm sure we've all got our opinions about all of this. But yeah, welcome to everyone that is joining us live. I see Nathan, Trekopedia, Sam Harris, and I'm sure there's other people. But yeah, guys, what are we thinking? Superman Legacy castings were announced yesterday, confirmed by James Gunn that Superman is going to be played by, is his name David Corenswet?
This is why I was hoping he would say the names, because with his accent, it's going to sound so cute.
David Corenswet. I just had to check it like that. I wasn't saying something wrong. I know the actor. But also Lois is going to be played by Rachel Brosnahan. So let's go Chainsaw first, reactions. And for those of you guys watching with us,
reaction.
let us know your instant reaction when you found out this news. Chainsaw, you go first. That was his reaction, guys. Confirmed.
So, first of all, I think it's great casting. Great casting for David and Rachel to get it. I mean, it's interesting because for the longest time, people were fan casting David even before this whole thing about New Superman. So people were saying, there was that famous tweet that David and Rachel are going to be cast. And it was like years ago. I was like, oh, this person predicted it. I think Rachel was a smart choice. Well, because she's had a couple of Emmys. She's been nominated, or has a lot more on her resume. And the fact is, too, she was one of the only individuals to actually be asked about a month ago on The View about this. And she's like, she's avoiding the question.
She looked really uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
she was
kind of like, why are you mother effers asking me?
She turned to the woman and went, oh, okay. Why are you asking about this? But it's great. And I think it's really cool. I think the negativity about David is funny because it looks like a young Henry Cavill.
Oh.
Well, that's fine. If you think
when you said negativity, I thought they were like, oh no, like did like old tweets surface or something.
Oh,
I'm like,
no, but it's as we know, it is the toxic Twitter side of just any fandom where Twitter just has a heyday of it. It's because David looks like Henry Cavill. Well, to be honest, everybody who's played Superman looks like Superman. That's the gist of it. He looks like Superman. He looks like Clark Kent. That's the whole point. I think this is going to be great. I think James made a good choice. I think any of the top runners, people that were in the running, were going to be good choices. But I think he probably made the right choice, especially with Clark, because I feel like the other choices, sure, but I feel like he mostly resembles what we think of when we think of Clark. We think of David. So, yeah, I think this is good. It's good. Now we're waiting for Lex, right, and everybody else. So.
I don't know how they're going to follow on from Superman and Lois Lex. I know he's a different type of Lex, but man, I'm loving him. We'll talk about that later. That was something that, I was kind of questioning. I was like, Nicholas Hoult as Lex? Like, I know that was a rumor, but I just don't see it actually being a thing. Andy, your thoughts on Superman and Lois in the casting of David and Rachel? Good, bad?
Okay, I've never seen either of them, but I've heard great things about particularly Rachel from the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
That's an amazing show.
Yeah, really which good. Again, just for the record, if there's anyone else who is just as gullible as I am, no, it's not called the marvelous Mrs. Marvel. It is Miss Maisel. Because I'm like, what? Like when I heard the first time I heard, I'm like, Why would they put Marvelous in a Marvel show? They're like, Andy, you idiot! It's not a Marvel show; it's an Amazon show, like set in the '60s.
Awesome.
But no, I think it's great. You know, that's like one of the biggest Lois actors we've ever gotten cast since
Amy
I think
Adams.
it's Amy Adams. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what she brings to the role. Again, you know, I wonder if the people at the View, if they're gonna do a reaction soon, you know, next week of being like, you know, hey, remember that time we asked this actress about Lois Lane, and then like they're like, we knew something was up. David, I haven't seen him in. Sorry, I just saw the tail. just like.
That was great.
Oh, are you filming? Are you filming right now?
Yeah,
That's normally how it goes.
Yeah, but with David, I haven't seen anything, but I did get told. Someone told me that one of the shows that he was on was the Politics show where he plays a queer character. So I'm like, you're telling me there's a Superman out there who has kissed other men? I'm like, I'm in. No, but on a serious note, yeah, he does look like a Henry Cavill a lot, you know. But again, it's like, I don't think there's. I mean, I know he can be distracting as long as he can act. I'm good. I'm sure, plus, you know, I'm sure that once we see him in the suit and he, you know, does something with his hair and, you know, like he has the glasses, he's probably gonna look a little bit different. So, I'm just glad that this search is over, because I feel like every week we're hearing, you know, now they're doing these screen tests, now they're at this law, now they're testing with costumes, now they're doing this. I'm just like, and also it's obvious that they were doing this because the potential SAG strike could be happening.
Yeah.
2 days from now.
Yeah, you gotta get it in. Okay.
Yeah. So, although I really did think they would have revealed this at Comic-Con. So
But maybe like you said, maybe the strike's actually gonna happen.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to.
Who
knows?
But
All
yeah,
right,
I'm excited.
Cool. Buddy, let's go to you. Instant reaction.
So my reaction was like this. This was real. I was like, that was my reaction, was just looking down and eyes opening wide, because I committed a cardinal sin. Don't be mad at me, but I did look at my phone in the theater, because I'm like, I normally have stuff turned off, like when I go to the theater, but this notification pushed through anyway. And all I saw was Superman Legacy Cat. I said, well, hell yeah. I was like, I got to see this real quick. I got to see if it's David. And then it was.
Can we ask what you were watching? What were you watching?
No Hard Feelings. Which was
I gotta watch that. That looks good.
Oh, no. Okay.
Honestly, I'm there to support an R-rated comedy that's in the theater. Like, I just gotta support that. So I was happy watching that movie, but I was happier thinking about Superman Legacy. And I'm a big fan of that. I haven't seen either one of these people in their roles before, so I'm like really excited to start getting into their IMDb pages and watch things with them in it. But just by the look, I was shocked they went with Rachel, because I thought they set up the duos that you had to have both, not that they were testing across.
I think they were just screen testing them as pairs.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought we were getting just the pairs, so I was getting almost ready for Emma to be in the role of Lois. So when it was Rachel, I was like, okay, hold on. So then I had to just rethink for a minute. I think this is going to be great. I think this is going to be some of the best casting possible for Superman Legacy thing. And like looking into Rachel's pages and what we've discussed, like seeing those awards, like that means something to have someone with high credibility going into this new reboot. That's a nice marketing thing in itself, just to be, hey, look at us. We're very confident in our actors here. This is going to be the real deal. And with James Gunn, like this film kind of needs to be perfect. And so far we're starting off pretty good. Yeah,
we are starting off pretty good. And you're right. This is the first supposed film in the DCU that James Gunn and Peter Safran are creating. So you're right. It has to be really good as a Superman film, but good as a film to kind of kick off that new universe. I don't know how they're going to make it that kind of perfect film, but my reaction to the casting was, I was like super happy. Honestly, like I love Emma Mackey. I think she's really good, but I see Rachel Brosnahan more as Lois. So I was super happy to see that conclusion. And you're right with the pairings. I was wondering who would actually get picked in the end. And it was a nice surprise that they went with two different people that we weren't expecting the pairing. I haven't seen much of David's work. However, I watched some stuff from Hollywood, the TV show he was on, and he looks great. Like he looks and sounds, and I could see him as Clark Kent which I think is just as important as casting someone for Superman who, you know, is like typical like Superman looks. And I think people saying, oh, he looks like Henry Cavill, I think that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing, and I don't think that was their criteria. I think Henry Cavill and, you know, Tyler Hoechlin and all those people, you know, they look like Superman because that's just kind of what Superman looks like as we're used to it. So, you know, I was very happy, and I think this pairing is going to be very good. I'm specifically happy about Rachel because I really like The Marvelous Miss Maisel, and I've seen her in a couple of films like The Courier with Benedict Cumberbatch. She was really good in that. So I'm a big fan of her already. So yeah, like actually for me, even over the Superman casting, the Lois casting got me more hyped because I'm already a fan. But I'm sure I'm going to be a big fan of David when it comes to actually seeing him as Superman. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I was shocked. Like, there was not really that in my reaction. But I think, as you guys have been saying, you know, it's just like super exciting to get another Superman project. And for me, it's exciting to get a different Superman. Like, as much as I like Henry Cavill as Superman, I think, as we've said, I think we actually said it last stream with Andy and Jordan, that, you know, I think the DCU maybe should actually fully reset rather than having just choosing some people like from the Suicide Squad and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy to see this new Superman and this new Lois being very different. Any more thoughts, guys? Obviously, there's a lot.
I think Nicholas Hoult needs a role somewhere in the DCU because, and I think it needs to be a villain. I don't think it has to be Lex because I kind of like, I don't know if we're going to talk about the Skarsgårds, the whole, the short list there. I would rather have them.
I prefer Skarsgård, yeah.
Nicholas Hoult could play a hell of a good villain with that motivation of both superheroes being taken away from him, like two of the biggest of all time.
He can play
like,
Otis.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, that would be good.
No,
he's too like kind of young and good looking, I guess, to be Otis. I mean,
well, you know what's funny? So I saw on Twitter someone was suggesting Nicholas Hoult as Barry Allen. I'm like, you know, in a way, like I could kind of see it.
If Wally's around, I kind of dig it. I would see the age difference in the grouping. I'd be cool with that.
How old is Nicholas Hoult?
Is he in his 40s?
Wait.
I don't know.
Hey Siri, how old is Nicholas Hoult?
Mine answered.
Okay.
33.
How old is Nicholas Hoult? Check it out.
Don't tell me what.
No. Mine just answered me. It was 33. It listened to you. He's 33. So I don't know how old David is. David Corin.
He's about to turn 30 next month.
Okay.
He's young. Okay.
Yeah, he and I are literally like born the same year. He's just a successful version of me. So
Fair enough.
But you know, I feel bad for Nicholas Hoult, but yeah, he was never Superman material in my opinion. I think he could have been a very interesting. He could have been an interesting Lex. Like I could actually see it, you know, because that's the thing. It's usually the actors that we don't expect that do great as, like, you know, look at, you know, John Cryer and look at Michael Rosenbaum. You know, these were two people that were like famously known for comedy. Yeah. But then, you know, look what they went on to do. So I hope that Nicholas Hoult gets cast because he was one of my favorite. He was one of the better parts of those X-Men movies. And
agreed.
Yeah. I think that he definitely deserves something because he tried out for the Batman. He was right up there at the top, and then of course Superman or Superman potentially, Lex potentially. I mean, he still could get Lex hypothetically because it's possible that he could be an outside shot that he could get it. I think Nicholas should get something maybe not as high profile as say Superman or Batman or Lex. I feel like, because see, what I was kind of mentioning to Andy on the phone yesterday, because we were like having a conversation right after the news.
We talked yesterday?
Yes, we did. You don't remember this?
I don't
of course you don't remember this because you're too busy sleepwalking or whatever. But we were mentioning how they like getting David, who was a lesser known. People knew him, of course, for the Superman fan casting, but in terms of like the bigger general audience, they don't know him. Getting him for Superman is probably smart. Getting a more well-known actor for some characters from the Authority that's supposed to be in this movie, getting more well-known actors for lesser-known characters is a better, I think, payoff because it's going to help elevate those characters. Because, like, imagine hypothetically, They got it's Midnighter, and what was the other guy's name?
Apollo.
Apollo.
Mm.
Imagine if Henry Cavill was Apollo. Hypothetically, that would definitely raise that character in terms of people's attention to that character. Because they know Henry Cavill. They're not going to do that, but the potential of
Never say never, Jordan. Never say never. You know, we could have Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck as Midnight and Apollo and just be fucking gay for each other. Like, it can happen. It can absolutely happen.
I think just in general, Nicholas Hoult could play a lesser known DC hero that would elevate because more people recognize him and know him from either the X-Men films or other things he's done. I mean, he
could play like a Green Lantern, maybe something like that.
He could play.
You were gonna say Green Arrow, and I was gonna be what? No. No. Use Sub Lantern, and I'm back in.
I like the fan casting of Charlie Hunnam as Green
Yes,
Arrow.
me too.
I don't know.
I want Charlie.
Is he too old at this point, or is he still good?
Your face is too old to play Green. What do you mean? If is he too old?
Well, look, at a certain point, if you cast too old, they can't stick around for so long because eventually they're
Hold on. Hey Siri, how old is Charlie Hunnam?
I think he's in his 30s.
Charlie Hunnam is 43 years old.
No, sorry.
I hate you.
Sorry, it ain't gonna happen. If they would have cast him as Green Arrow 10 years ago, yeah, but it's not. No, not now.
Well, we were so busy, we were so busy having to, lift up Steven, so who.
We were so busy as well, them trying to figure out what the hell they're doing with the DCEU. They didn't know what they were doing.
True.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly move on to the super chats because Gary has sent in a couple of super chats. Welcome to the live stream, Gary. Good to have you back. Gary says, when do you think Superman and Lois will air season 4? I presume 2024 mid-season.
Yep.
Andy, any guesses?
2026.
2026.
No. I mean, if the strike ends before fall, I think they will start writing and filming in the fall, and then have it ready for maybe next summer. If the strike goes on until the end of the year, maybe
I did not think about that. Yeah, because they can't even start writing.
It'll be a fall show at the earliest next year if it keeps going. I mean,
holy crap!
You might get summer if it was to end within the next couple weeks. Potentially, you can start in the summer, but I doubt it.
Well, the good thing is that because they're only doing 10 episodes, it could, because they could be writing the season as they are filming it.
I think so. If they're running,
and they obviously must have some ideas, at least for what they're doing with the premiere. Given how they decide to end the. I have issues, y'all. Yeah. I have issues with this, but it has to be next year because I honestly think at this point, this could be the last season, and this will be the season that sets up Superman Legacy. 2024 we have Superman and Lois, and 2025 we have Superman Legacy. So
yeah, and that makes sense. Holding people over, and because you don't want this show to end in season 3, especially the way they end the episode, and then have people wait 2 years for the movie. Because the only thing that's going to hold people over now is the new animated show. That's coming. So.
Is that next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Next week.
And it's really nice. It's really, really good.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Oh, it looks amazing. The anime inspired opening. Oh, that got me so excited.
There was times on my screen where I was like, I know I already replayed the theme 4 times now, but just one more time.
Nice. That's so exciting.
Okay, I'm definitely watching it. That's for sure. I mean, I was going to anyway. But yeah. I didn't think about that. So, Gary, you have to take that into account. There is a big writer's strike going on right now.
And maybe an actor and also an actor strike
too.
And potentially an actor strike. I'm pretty damn sure Todd Helbing behind the scenes has been at least figuring out, his grand scheme behind it. But obviously they can't put pen to paper. Because, legally, they literally can't without this strike ending. And so hopefully they, get what they want, the writers, because, we all support them. But yeah, that's just the situation. So right now it's looking unlikely that it will come out in mid-season 2024. Probably earliest the summer schedule when that starts kicking in. But probably
Well,
like you said,
you know,
Chainsaw.
I think that could be a fun
Cool.
like timing. Because I missed the time when we had Stargirl during the summer, like because
Supergirl was in the summer 1 year, right?
Yep.
well, that was like COVID. It didn't really count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
but
we know
Stargirl
we get it.
normally
We
started
get
in-
it, Ben. You really love Supergirl. We get it.
Now we know. Ooh.
But yeah, okay. Let's move on. Thank you, Gary, for that super chat. Let's move on to Gary's next one. He says, "Today is my birthday. How are you? And do you think Kyle, Sarah, John, and Natalie will be in season 4?" So we're actually going to be moving on to Superman and Lois very shortly. First off, happy birthday, Gary.
Happy
Hopefully you're
birthday.
having a very good day. Yeah, and
Happy birthday, Gary.
happy birthday, Gary. Thanks
And
for
many
joining the stream on your
more.
birthday. I'm good, and I'm sure you're good. Let's hope that. But in regards to your separate question, we'll get onto that in just a second. So we'll just hop over to your other super chat and we'll get back to that. He says, "Are you mad at me? Are you proud of me? And will Superman be delayed later than January?" Well, we just answered that. We're pretty sure it's going to be delayed later than January, Gary. Probably summer, fall next year, if things play out the way that it's looking like right now. But no, I'm not mad at you, Gary. Thanks. for
I'm
joining
very
the
mad at you.
birthday.
You've been a very
I'm
bad
very
boy. You've
I'm
been
not
a
sure
very
how I
bad
feel
boy.
Oh,
yet.
come on, guys. It's his birthday.
You're not sure how I feel yet.
I'm not sure.
I might be mad
But
at
he's
you.
like
I may
in the
not.
middle. Yeah.
After your birthday, we'll see.
Yeah, okay, but he's neutral on your birthday, Gary. So
Yeah.
good luck for you. But yeah, okay. So I think that pretty much concludes. Is there any last Superman legacy thing we want to talk about?
The Skarsgårds.
The Skarsgård. So would you like? Are they only rumored to be in for Lex?
Yeah.
Is
For-
that
for
the?
right
Well,
now.
given that they just cast Superman Lois, I'm pretty sure those two roles are now out. Unless Alexander put on a very pretty wig and he But
Yeah.
but no, yeah, but so far, yeah, it's just I think they're just up for Lex. So
Which
but
Skarsgård would you
yeah, which
prefer?
one? Which one? That's the question.
Honestly, I don't know if you guys have seen John Wick Chapter 4 yet.
I have.
Bill does a really good job in there. There's a really interesting performance there. I really like that actor. I think he has a dynamic range. I feel like Alexander really killed it with the Northman last year as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that was
man.
a powerful
So good.
performance. It was
Yeah.
very good, but that was more physical than it
And
was.
Infinity Pool. He was very
Oh,
good.
haven't seen that yet. It's on the list. I'm very
Yeah.
excited. But I think there's two different Lex
Yes.
choices you have going. There's the very big physical empowering force of Alexander. I mean, God, sorry, I'm not going to curse on here, Ben, not as much.
Okay.
Like the Northman, like, damn, that movie's insane. But Bill does give a really different and layered performance in John Wick 4 that is more what I think James Gunn's going to be going for with his Lex. So I'm going to go with Bill, I think.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I just don't see Bill Skarsgård with
No.
no hair.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see Alexander.
I don't either,
Skarsgård
but I
with
mean,
no hair.
after seeing what he did with it, I mean,
Mhm.
he can definitely do something that we're not expecting. And I haven't seen John Wick Chapter 4, but I hear he's great in it. And I think
Yeah,
the
he's
North
pretty
with
good.
Alexander, I mean, that if you want to go that route with Lex, I'm all for it because we have that version technically within the show.
Yeah,
So,
I'm all
that's
for
fine.
that, Lex.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah. I'm fine with either or, honestly. I bet it's going to be somebody we're not expecting to be Lex.
Okay.
If it's Nicholas Hoult or somebody else, I feel like they're going to go. I mean, I don't know, right? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
'Cause, I
Andy.
mean, because they could
Oh,
get
sorry.
Bill for
Yeah.
Joker. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
He would be a very good Joker.
Just saying.
So I'm gonna stick before we go to Andy. I'm gonna stick with. I think it should be Alexander Skarsgård for Lex. That's just my impression. I just love him in the Northman. He is so intense, and I
Yeah.
love the intensity we've been seeing on Superman and Lois. So I'm down for another version of that. He's great in his other films too. I see, like you said, Bill as more of like a kind of mischievous, like Joker type, role. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't really see him as Lex compared to his to the other Skarsgård, Alexander. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Andy, which Skarsgård are you choosing if you're picking one?
See, for me, like I'm gonna say Bill, but it's because this is my reason for it. If they're going with young Lex and young Clark and Lois, then it makes no sense for Lex to be 20 years older than both of them. Because here's the thing. Yes, Alexander Scott, Alexander, he has that Hollywood magic. He doesn't look that old, but he's almost 50.
What?
Damn.
Well, hold on.
Y'all
didn't know
switching
that.
teams.
Hey,
Y'all
Siri.
switching teams.
46.
Hey Siri, how old is Alexander Skarsgård?
He's 46.
My phone died.
Oh.
But
46. Holy
yeah, so
shit.
he's 46. So there you go.
Really got that Hollywood magic.
Yeah, he
You're
does.
right.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah.
That is mad. But yeah,
so I would want Bill also because I think that he's really good at playing creepy, intimidating, and also I think he can do something very like calculating as Lex.
fair enough. Yeah, he's definitely the calculating type, just by what we've seen him in the past, especially It and stuff like that. Okay, Gary has another super chat. Gary says, "Do you think Superman and Lois could air in March or April?" We're thinking unlikely. These guys are all shaking their heads. So, Gary, we're gonna say probably summer 2024 at the earliest.
Yeah.
I think we'll stick with that answer. Thank you again for the super chat. And don't worry, we're going to get back to your Superman and Lois question shortly. We got a couple of other super chats we need to answer. Mike Hill sends in a £2 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, heard a rumor Jason Momoa will be Lobo. We've been hearing that for a while.
Yeah.
I think he would make a good Lobo. But I think people would get confused if they saw him, unless he was like under so much makeup, What do you guys think about that?
I think they'll go that route. I think it would make sense to him. I don't know who else he could play. Then again, no one expected him to be Aquaman, right? So I think Lobo makes sense, but also I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't continue and do something else. But then again, he seems like he's really excited for what James Gunn and Peter Safran are doing. So I feel like he has a role. It's just they're not ready because he still has yet to do Aquaman 2. It's not out yet. So
that's where my answer is going to be. Because Aquaman 2 is an out. I want to see how the press goes. I want to see how Jason's talking Aquaman 2. Not because of the screening, saying it's the worst movie ever, because whatever, I don't care. But that's what's being said around the block, is that it's not good, right? I don't care. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But I want to see how Jason is going to approach it in the marketing or in interviews, whatever. Because if he doesn't give shit, if he's a little lax about it, he's playing Lobo. 100%. That's what that meeting's about. But if he's super in it for Aquaman, maybe he is continuing as Aquaman in the future. You get both, but I think it's going to depend on how that goes with Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Andy, what are you thinking? Jason Momoa as Lobo or not?
Right now, I'm just thinking tail because I just keep seeing the tail just floating.
I know.
It's just a cat.
I get easily distracted. But if he's gonna be Lobo, don't make it a joke. Make it because Lobo is he can be our Deadpool, who's he is quippy, but he's also a big badass. I would watch Krypton season 2 for people to get a little taste of what Lobo can be like. But I don't know. It's this whole thing has just been so weird because they're talking about Aquaman as if it's not the end, but nobody gives shits about that movie anymore.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's doing reshoots right now is just not good.
It's even making it more what's happening. Why are they doing reshoots again? Because they've already done reshoots again and again and again, right? They keep doing reshoots, and that's adding more to that budget. Are they going to be able to recoup it? Because right now with DC's track record, the answer is no.
I'm so fucking tired of talking about money about this damn company. I'm so tired.
It is such a tired conversation.
They don't. Warner Bros. Has not done anything profitable this year. I'm just guys, we're almost in July. They're
hoping Barbie's going to do good.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm there premiere night.
Everyone's going first day.
Well,
if it's good.
You know why? It's because it's so out of left field than what Warner Bros. Has put out this year. That's why it's probably going to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need, I don't know. I feel like for the future of the DCU, they need to change their formula, and hopefully James Gunn has got something up his sleeve. I think there is a reason that films like the Batman and Joker do so well. Yes, they're popular characters, I know the Batman didn't make nearly as much as Joker, but they were well loved, and it was a different kind of DC film. And I've got a feeling James Gunn is going to take his DCU in a different direction to what has been happening recently with the films. They all look kind of similar in a, like if you look at them. And I feel like, the future hopefully is going to be good for them. But, business behind the scenes, I think that kind of ruins a lot of the stuff. Okay, we got a couple of other super chats we need to get through before we move to Superman and Lois. Gary sends in another super chat. Thank you so much, Gary. Gary says, do you think there will be a new DCTV show in fall 2024? I hope they still make DCTV shows. Well, if you're talking specifically CW, Gary, no.
Nope.
It seems very unlikely at all. They'll be having more golf. They'll be having, whenever they can find
more golf.
More golf.
Yeah,
I think the one show we're getting next year is Dead Boy Detectives.
Netflix.
Netflix, exactly. So that's a new show, but otherwise,
I bet Creature Commandos comes out next year. I bet.
That's Max.
I think Batman the Cape Crusader probably comes out next year too.
Oh, I am so hyped for that.
I think so, because that show's been in development around the same time as My Adventures with Superman. And the only problem
now it's over at Amazon.
Yeah, and the issue was that instead of My Adventures Superman, like that show got pushed out. Like they had to find a new home and everything. Yeah. But they've been working on that show. They showed footage recently.
Oh, showed footage of the Batman show.
Yeah,
where?
Not publicly.
Annecy.
Not publicly.
Annecy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So wait, do we know who is voicing Batman? Do we know?
Yeah, and more likely, obviously, it's not Kevin Conroy. So
yeah,
we don't know.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I bet if they could have maybe banked in enough stuff, maybe it could have been Kevin. If they would have been, but I feel like it's not. I feel like the plan was probably not to have him.
It was a new actor altogether.
Yeah. Wait, was it announced before he died?
No,
it was.
No, doesn't mean we don't know anything. We don't know anything about the show.
It's interesting because the day he passed, something popped up saying he was voicing Thomas Wayne in the show, but that didn't come out until after he passed, and it wasn't like a legit source. It was just like around on the internet. I feel like it's not legit. I could be wrong. He could end up being a credit as Thomas, right? Because they do a lot of that audio stuff early on. So, I don't know. It's possible he did something, but I doubt he's leading the show.
Yeah, I doubt. But okay, let's continue with this. We have another super chat from Connor Queen. Thanks, Connor, for watching the live stream and supporting the channel. I appreciate it. And we got 2 other 99-cent super chats from Gary. Thank you so much. And Nathan just sent in 5 gift memberships to people who are watching live. So shout out to Nathan. You are a legend. For those of you guys who are joining as a member for 1 month, obviously this is just like a 1-month thing, but I appreciate it. And congrats to you for getting Nathan's memberships. We're going to be doing a members live stream sometime this month. So you guys will be able to come join that. So message me on Twitter, Instagram, if you guys have that, and I'll be sure to get you on the stream. But yeah, so shout out to Nathan and everyone else sending in super chats. Let's go back to Gary's question, because now we're moving on to Superman and Lois. So, oh wait, that's the wrong one. Gary said, is this one? He said, do you think...
we read that one.
Yeah, but we didn't go into the Kyle and Sarah bit.
Oh, okay.
Do you think Kyle, Sarah, John, Natalie will be in season 4? I see that you've excluded like General Lane and Chrissy, but I guess that's still in the conversation. So first things first, let's answer this. How did you think the finale went in regards to these specific characters? Not our main characters, not Lex, not Doomsday or anything. We're going to get into that. To do with these characters who have been cut as series regulars, who could potentially show up next season as recurring or guest stars or not at all. How did you think they went about this? Obviously, they made this finale, I think, before they made that decision. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
It's jarring because I was even questioning this while watching the episode. I'm like, it really feels like they're writing off these characters when this wasn't the plan. Or maybe there was a plan to have some of them exit the show, and that would maybe an organic way. But at the same time, this wasn't planned for like a lot of this is like the last time we're going to see a lot of these characters. They're going to find a way in the writing to write them off, or we're not going to see them. I feel like, because some people are saying, well, this actor and this actor said they're going to come back. They can say that, and they may have been offered.
There are no deals in place.
Yeah, that's the point I was getting to. There is no deals in place. Plus, the scripts have not been written. So until that happens, they cannot definitively say, "Oh, I'm coming back," because they may have offered them that, but by the time they get around to actually, because they have to actually, after the writing strike ends, and if the acting strike is not happening, then they have to go to a writer's room and write out the scripts. At that point, the studio, they may change their mind and go, we're not going to offer this person these episodes we had initially offered because there's no contract. So I feel like the majority of them, we're not going to see them. It makes a lot of sense when you look at how they kind of established that episode. A lot of those characters are probably not going to return at all. They'll be mentioned, but won't see them.
I'm going to be super mad if they ended General Lane by him getting kidnapped. Imagine if they kill him off. I'm going to be really mad.
Oh, he got kidnapped?
Yeah.
No, I forgot.
Yeah.
There was a lot that happened after that, so I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can tell that they were setting that up to be like, the part 2 of this episode for season 4 premiere was going to continue
with him being found. Yeah,
they're literally, I mean, with his wife saying he's not coming back. I mean,
are they going to kill him off now?
They could.
I really thought that I really thought that he went off with his day and they were just fucking for the rest of the episode. Like,
Did you miss the episode?
No, I watched the episode. I don't care about General Lane.
Yeah, but there was a major moment.
Yeah, the woman that he was kissing with, like, tased him. And there was Otis.
Well, so here's the thing. Usually when he starts talking, I just start looking at my phone.
So she took him off and they started making out, and then she put his phone down, and then she tased him. She's working for Luther.
Yeah, the car came out.
Oh, shit.
And that device that Luther used, that was to call Bizarro.
Yeah, so, he stole it from General Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we got it. Okay.
I'm glad we're helping you with the show, man. I'm so happy we're helping you out.
See, here's the thing, because I'm so annoyed with what's happening with the show right now. Like, we're losing all these characters, whatever, and the budget's gonna be trimmed and so on. But the fact that it's the fact that we are, Sam Lane is so annoying because I think last season
I like him.
Tell me
tell
me a character trait about him that is not about him being a father.
I mean, it's all about him being a father, but I just
there you go. He has no personality.
No, I just like the progression that we've seen since season 1. He was an absolute ass. Like, I hated him in season 1.
Yeah.
And now I've actually come to kind of like him. So, yeah.
I mean, literally in this episode, he even makes a point, because he used to not do this. He made a point as someone who's made a lot of mistakes, and it cuts to Lois, because he screwed up being a dad, and he's trying now to be a better grandfather and trying to do just better in general. Now, I get the point, like, well, what about, Lucy? Like, she's never around. Well, that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
For me, it's like this season, his arc, because I'll agree with Andy here. There's not much to Sam. There's not much. I like the actor, so I like Sam.
He's a good actor. Really good actor.
You're so right. I can't. You said name a couple traits, and I'm like thinking in my head. I'm like, I can't think of anything. So it's like his whole thing is
that's a job. That's not a character trait.
Yeah,
Benjamin.
Right. He's going out into the dating world, and it's like, okay, so what's the ending of that arc? He trusts somebody and then gets killed,
and he gets. Totally,
that would suck. I don't want him to die. I would hate that. That would be a terrible way to end that. Such a simple story.
If he died.
Yeah.
Like, imagine going back and watching the whole show and knowing that's how he's gonna end.
Like what?
Yeah.
That's just not cathartic at all.
No,
that just sucks.
But I think, as we were saying, there's gonna be some big kind of I don't know, like there's gonna be things as we go into season 4 where it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be smooth. It's going to feel like very rushed, very throwaway because of these massive cuts with all these characters. So where are we at thinking these other characters, let's ignore General Lane, like all the other guys, Are we gonna be seeing them? What's your feeling right now?
Barely.
I don't
barely.
think so.
Barely.
The
That-
only
few
ones, the
episodes.
only one I could see showing up because they did the setup.
John,
is-
Henry, and Natalie.
Yeah, because they're now moving to Metropolis. Because I bet you, like, I think this show is moving to Metropolis.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it didn't help that, like, basically the barn got destroyed. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I was
bad
expecting
when that happened.
I was expecting him to, like, just, like, you know, tear his shit up and, like, just fight through all the, you know, like, that Doomsday was gonna, like, drive him through the house because, like,
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
That's Lois's house. That's Lois's
Yeah.
house. Destroy her house. You know, make it personal.
I was waiting for this because me and you in Canada have been predicting for a while, like they're gonna go to Metropolis, the Kent farm's gonna go up in flames or something's gonna happen. It's like, okay, here it comes. Here
It
goes.
still can.
Yeah, that's
it
true. 'Cause
still
the fight's
can,
not
too.
over. At the fight, and Lex is technically still in the yard. He's like, blow this thing up, I guess.
Yeah, he's just chilling there watching that.
Yeah, because he
on
like
the
walked
moon.
away. He's like, when you're done, bring me his heart. I'm like, and he can turn around and just get a rocket launcher.
By
He
the
has a
way,
bunch of weapons and shit. We see it throughout the episode. He could just blow up the house. Who cares? Right?
you know when he said that?
That's so
You know when
cool.
he said that? I'm like, is Lex Luthor just channeling his inner evil queen from Snow White? Because
Yeah.
like, because I'm like, bring me his heart. That's so
Bring me his
rad.
heart.
His heart.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Can you imagine Lex he's wearing like the big cape and the crown and, you know, like the purple dress. You know, the purple is Lex's color. So, you know,
King Lex, bring it on.
no, Queen Lex.
Oh well,
There you go.
regardless. I do.
Mirror on the wall. Tell me who's the strongest of them all. It's not you, bitch. It's
No.
Superman.
Yeah, I
That's true.
do actually have to go. I've been on here way longer than I should have. But
All right.
are we talking Doomsday next? Is that what's next?
Yeah, we're literally about to talk about
Wait,
it. So.
I will give my thoughts and I will exit.
Okay, Doomsday.
Doomsday. First of all, awesome, fantastic. It's definitely not the Doomsday. I think there's another Doomsday out there. This is not traditional Doomsday. But then it kind of confirmed a lot of people's theories because remember when Bizarro showed up in that suit and it was like, well, that's first appearance of Doomsday. Technically, the people were correct.
You're all right.
we were right. The fight was intense, and I hate the fact we ended on a cliffhanger, but they were hoping for season 4, so they thankfully got it. I think it was a really well done fight because Clark was not prepared for this. And I think the best moment in that fight was honestly when they're in Smallville for that brief moment, and Jordan and John Henry and maybe Natalie were about to
They're
step
ready.
in, and he told them no, and you can feel in that moment and the music and just the way they're totally playing that little moment, he is scared for his life.
knows it's
He's making sure
serious.
that they are staying away. Like, and I literally was thinking they're doing Death of Superman. They're about to do it right now. He's about to die.
That was my first thought.
Yeah.
Went straight to my head. I was like, he's about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I was scared for him, and I think they did a really good job with that because now Henry doesn't have to play. Not Henry, sorry, Tyler doesn't have to play.
Wow.
Yeah, that just happened. Tyler doesn't have to play himself and also playing Bizarro. Like it's, I think they had I think a guy posted about him doing this.
Yeah, the guy who played Henry Miller, that was him.
Yeah, so he was doing the stunt work for Doomsday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but I mean, it worked out really well. It was a really well done fight. Going to the moon, that was really cool. Awesome stuff. I can't wait to see what they do. Because I mean, now we know Lex's plan, right? Lex is like, I have this unkillable machine. He's gonna turn on Lex though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Come on.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, but yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Well.
Okay, bye,
thank you for your
Jordan.
thoughts.
Thank you for having me
See you
on,
later.
man. Thank you. Sorry.
No worries. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's continue with this, guys. So obviously now it's just us three, but we can talk lots about this. So let's talk about how it first happened. As we alluded to, Bizarro, we got to see a killing montage, literally, of Lex killing him with like chainsaws, flamethrowers, shooting him like over and over again after he realized that this Bizarro can't die. Like he's just regenerating, and whatever Bruno Mannheim has done to him, it's just cursed him with infinite life pretty much. So yeah, that was absolutely crazy. What did you guys think about that scene specifically?
I thought it was interesting. That's definitely, I mean, it makes sense with the title, how Doomsday comes to be, but it's just, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't expecting it. So every new thing, or the longer the scene would go on, or that moment where it's Lex basically asking him if he wants to be killed over and over again, and you see that subtle like, yeah, and it's like the tear and everything. I was like, damn, like this is really tragic right now. And then to see by the end of the episode the hulking monster I don't recognize as Bizarro anymore, it was kind of rough, because it made me remember that this is just Clark from another world. So it's the inverse world. And I'm like, I don't know. It was rough. I think it was good. I thought it was kind of poetic. Thought it was cool. Definitely a more interesting take than the Batman v Superman Doomsday, which I didn't mind. But I think this was actually a lot more personal, way more interesting, definitely more unique too.
Yeah, I agree. And you're right. Like, I don't think anyone was expecting them to go ahead and just like kill him over and over again to mutate him. But I found that twist to be really actually exciting. Like, I saw it and I was like, wow, like they're actually killing him over and over again, and he's going to become this like hideous monster, and it was insane. So yeah, like I really liked the way that we got to him becoming Doomsday. And when he was first revealed in the barn, when Lex called him in, it was sick seeing him seeing his progression, and then seeing him become like the full thing. And he is a killing machine. He is the Doomsday from the comics. Obviously it's a bit different because this is Bizarro turning into Doomsday, but I like what they've done here, and I like that we actually ended on a cliffhanger setting up next season. I was actually very happy with the cliffhanger. I remembered as they were having the fight, I was like, okay, yeah, they said there's going to be a cliffhanger at the end of the season. Are they doing Death of Superman? But no, they kind of reversed it. He got Doomsday got impaled, but he was totally fine. Can I just point out, very risky by Clark putting him in the middle of a city. Right?
Yeah. And especially like leaving him up there, like just to go down, like to not have your eyes on him was really dumb. But I understand
thrown him straight into the sun.
I understand why he did that though, because like because it's like the thing we were talking about is that he wasn't confident in this fight. And it's like, it's kind of nice to see him think it's over and then be like, oh God, it just started. Like this is not going to be good. So, I mean, I get it. Yeah. I don't think it's like a Man of Steel oversight where it's like, you're just putting all these people in danger. I understand why he did it, but it's just, we know Doomsday's not done. So it's just, once again, that moment, that suspense there, it was nice.
Yeah. Andy, what was your thoughts on Doomsday as a whole? Are you liking what you've seen in this episode heading into the premiere next year?
So what I'm gathering here is that you guys like this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most people would liked it.
Okay,
Did you not
cool.
like it?
I'm glad that people seem to like Zack Snyder stuff when it's not Zack Snyder doing it.
I love Batman v Superman.
Okay. Well, here's what I will say. I'm sitting there. I'm like, they're not gonna do this, are they? Then he chains him up. I'm like, oh no. Me and the rest of the Snyderverse fandom are gonna have a field day with this. So I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, okay. What are they shooting him with? Okay, he's mutating. Okay, a Kryptonian can do that now. Okay, so does that mean that our Clark can, like, if we just
but it was because of the experiments by Mannheim,
right? But if someone were to experiment on our Clark, that dude could become that thing.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, so they're now fighting. I'm not sure how the S still got in there.
I think that's just cool. That's just cool, right?
I thought it just looked weird. It just looked weird for me. You can tell where most of the budget for the season went, because they clearly were setting, anything. It looks great, but this is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice 2.
But it's better than Batman vs Superman.
No, it's not, because it is Lex. Let's look at it. Lex Luthor experiments on Kryptonian. Kryptonian body becomes Doomsday body. Again, it's like, yeah, this is BVS. This is BVS in a nutshell, in a lot of ways. But it's like, this somehow gets celebrated, whereas fuck Zack Snyder for rushing the return of Superman, like blah 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 blah. So again, I'm like, I will be listen. I will be the pettiest panelist on this episode. I will happily say that it's either great that Todd Helping clearly loves Zack Snyder, because that means that someone is validating the way he does things in his storytelling, or Superman Lois and the Arrowverse are the biggest hypocrites, because they were shitting on Snyder stuff in the earlier season, but they're like, we have no problem taking inspiration and borrowing things from them. So, but what my biggest problem is here, and this has nothing to do with Snyder or anything. My biggest problem is that this shows how irresponsible Todd Helping is as a showrunner, because if he didn't know, he knew that this show was on a bubble, and to do this as a cliffhanger, I'm sorry. It's like this is like straight up from the Legends of Tomorrow season 7 book.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
that
this would have been an awful cliffhanger if that was it. Like that would have been the worst decision ever. I 100% agree with you there.
Don't you think that he probably had a backup scene?
No,
to end it.
No,
I don't know.
No, they because here's the thing: when that network president was going around saying, like, we don't know we're bringing back to Lois, but we are ending on the cliffhanger. So I'm like, this is so irresponsible. Like, like I know Eric Wallace, he is not always perfect. He hasn't always been perfect when he's done with The Fly, but he would never do this if he knew that the show was on the bubble. So I think it's shit that we could have been put through all this stress if the show had been canceled. Because here's the thing, I will say this: I'm in favor of seeing the return of Superman. I love that storyline. That's one of my favorite comic books. I have no problem if they did it on the show, but you don't end it as a cliffhanger season finale on a season where you don't know if you're coming back or not. Like, it's very irresponsible to me. So that's that's why it's hard for me to enjoy this completely, because it's like, wait, but what does that say about season 4 next year? What if they don't know that season 4 is going to be the last one, and they still do another cliffhanger? It's like, again, it just, I can't support artistically.
No, honestly, that's completely valid. Everything that you just said to explain yourself makes complete sense. And honestly, like, yeah, if it was not going to get another season, this would absolutely be one of the worst episodes, because how do you do all of these great things, ending this conclusion for most of these characters? Like we discussed for like a while, most of these side characters could not come back, and we're kind of okay with it. It's fine, I guess. We're like, okay, it's an ending at least. To end on a cliffhanger like that and that be it, that's so unsatisfying. That's like the worst cliffhanger of them all. And yeah, that is irresponsible for them to want to end on that. So I would hope that in the next season, we find out, or they find out way sooner if this is it or not, because I'd rather have a nice conclusion and not take this risk again. Like, that is a huge risk. You're absolutely right. I don't. Yeah, everything you said made complete sense to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The cat came in the right moment. They were like, it's like things are getting heated here.
No, but
it is scary, because like you would think that these showrunners in the Arrowverse would know better by now,
right?
Like, especially what happened last year. So I just and this is what I hate, because I support the writer's strike, but I hate the fact that we can't even get any answers out of Todd right now, because he can't promote the show. So it's what Buddy said, I hope that they can find out before they even start filming. Write this as a season finale in case you don't come back, and wrap things up, because this isn't fair to not just the cast and the people who work on the show, but it's not fair to the audience, because this is again, literally, you have a network president going out saying, I don't know anything about season 4, but we're ending on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's like,
I get where you're coming from, and I think it's totally valid. I guess that just didn't go through my head because I already, we found out season 4 was happening. So to me, it was like, oh, this is an awesome ending. Like, can't wait for next season. Gonna be hype. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's very risky and very ballsy by Todd Helbing. But I guess he was just super confident that he would get another season. But yeah, you're right. You were saying it's irresponsible. It is at the end of the day when you look at it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next season. I think, we got a lot to deal with Doomsday, and obviously, Lex, because Lex is going to be a series regular too. Is he going to turn on Lex? What's going to happen at the end of the day? I think it's awesome that they went to the moon. I thought it was really unexpected.
That was fucking sick.
That was so
Yeah. I was like, as soon as he slammed him to the moon, I was like, oh shit, we're going to get a fight scene on the moon. And that last frame looked so cool. Like, it was a proper great final
That's
frame.
like wallpaper. That's like desktop wallpaper material.
Yeah,
right
like
there.
that is
100%, yeah.
wallpaper. Yeah, it looked so good. And yeah, so I'm super happy with what they did. And I loved season 3 as a whole. Guys, if you're going to give a rating, and for those of you watching in the chat, what would you rate this season as a whole out of 10? I'm going to say, and I said it in my review last night, I have barely any problems with this season. I know some people don't like certain characters, but to me, yeah, at times I don't like certain people, but the quality is just so good on the show. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Like, I can barely fault it, apart from a few scenes that I can go back to and nitpick on. So for me, it's only a few nitpicks. It's not, I don't really have too much of a criticism, and I really enjoyed the season. It's one of the best ones so far. What do you guys think out of 10, Andy and Buddy?
I love this show. Season 1 is like perfect in my book. Season 2, it had some issues, but I still really liked it. And season 3 really came in and decided to up the maturity big time. The pacing of the story was different this time around. The villains were different. The way the show worked was different compared to the previous seasons, which I liked. But I know a lot of people didn't. There were issues I had with certain storylines, certain characters. But at the end of the day, I think that this story is so cohesive and works so well. I think it is like at least a 9. I think on a different day, if things went different in this last episode, it would be a lot lower. But I think with how they nailed that ending, for me, 9 is about right.
That's a good rating. Yeah. Andy, you saying lower?
I'm really scared because I know how intense people get about this show.
And these guys confirmed Andy's giving it 2.
No, no, good lord, no. That's I'm giving like it's like if I gave Cecile an 8, that's when we know things would be bad. My biggest problem with the season is that I feel this canon storyline had no place in the Superman show, in a comic book show. Because again, a lot of people, and here's the thing, I do think it's powerful that media can use these type of shows to tell these type of real life stories. But the thing is, like, many of us, we watch these type of shows because we like to escape reality. And for us, like, for me as a journalist, I don't want to see one of my biggest role models in Lois Lane have to suffer as long as she did. Because that thing, that story went on for so long, and it didn't help that in the middle of the season I lost my grandmother, who part of her death was that she had lung cancer. So for me, it was like there was like times when I'm not gonna watch a show live for the next 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
and the Mannheims were like, they're my favorite antagonists of the whole show. But I think that the best rating I can give this season is a 7.
Okay.
And I would maybe give it a 7.5 because of Michael Cutler's introduction as Lex. Because damn, he's hot. But secondly, I do think the Doomsday fight was fun. Even I do think it's very tone deaf to do that. When it's again like on the you're doing on a network that just you saw what happened last season. You saw what happened with all those shows that got canceled, and you didn't know if you were going to get a season 4 or not. So yeah, I think 7 is the best I can give this season. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for it once. But that's the thing. Like, if season 4 is the final season, they're probably going to do the whole Death and Return of Superman, which honestly, I will take that. Because, but also I'm hoping for a little more fun next season. And maybe less angst from the teens. I'm like, guys, it's time to start growing up. Like, by the time I was 17, 18, like some of that angst was already gone. Like I almost snapped at Jordan in the restaurant. He was like, "Don't bother." To Sarah when she was like, "Do you want it? Do you want something else?" Yeah. But
fair enough.
Yeah.
Good ratings. I have to be honest. Like, compared to like The Flash and other stuff, I'm actually quite tuned out in terms of like people like giving their full thoughts and opinions about like the specific characters. So for me, when I watch Superman and Lois, like it's kind of just like my thoughts, and I really like
it's just Ben's world.
Yeah, and I really like the Smallville stuff. I love that it's set in Smallville. I'm very happy that we got to have 3 seasons in Smallville and now potentially going to Metropolis. It's going to be exciting, but at the same time, I'm going to miss Smallville for me because I don't know. I guess I formed some sort of attachment to it. I thought it was interesting. And yeah, at times, some of the characters.
You just want to live on a farm.
Yeah, I want to live on a farm, guys. Confirmed. Right here, right now. Let's move. No, but I just enjoyed it, and yeah, I've liked what we've seen. All right, so just before we end the stream, we got a couple of super chats we need to catch up on. Gary sends in another super chat. Thank you very much once again, Gary, for the super chat. He says, "Do you think there will be a Superman and Lois season 5? And do you think we will get more scenes like we did last episode?"
What
the
scenes?
last episode was hot.
You know,
Lois and Clark. Yeah, Gary.
There was a lot. There was a lot.
this episode was saucy for sure.
We've
Like,
had a few of those this season.
Like even my boy John Henry Irons,
Irons and Natalie.
I've never seen him smile so much in one episode. Like I'm
Ben?
like,
did you hear what you just said? John and Natalie?
I said John Henry.
no, you said John. You said John and Natalie.
You said John.
Oh my god! I don't know why I said that.
Sorry, Ben,
listen.
Riverdale is the incest show, not Supergirl.
John Henry.
I'm sorry, it was so funny.
Why
I
did
couldn't help it.
Oh my god!
Got it.
I'm stupid.
Ben, go take
Alright,
go take
called
5.
out
We
on
will run,
stream.
Ben, go take a 5. The tank top bros will run the show for a second.
Yeah,
You
okay.
clearly need coffee.
See you guys.
Oh, that's
I guess we'll probably have some next season. I thought it was.
I just don't get how you
impactful.
confuse Lana and Natalie. Natalie's the only black woman on the show.
I did not think. I was not thinking.
No, you were
that
not
was just the
thinking.
first thing that came out of my head.
Oh, listen, it was a simple mistake, but man, it was just
That
so
was
funny.
funny.
And
the
the
way
fact that
you
he
said
kept
it.
going.
Yeah.
Like, he kept going, and like he was like, John Henry and Natalie,
sorry,
and
guys.
blah 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 blah. What did I say? No, I said John. I said John and Lana.
I meant John and Lana.
What were we talking
Okay.
about?
John and Lana.
Oh,
Are they
yeah.
gonna? Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And you know what's funny? Because when I interviewed Foley Parks at the beginning of this, right before the season started, because he was talking about like we were talking about like, does John just get that little fun this season? Like maybe go on a date, and he had brought up something like like doesn't like John and Lana date in the comment? I'm like, well, how about that? Lana is about to get divorced, and he's like, I don't know anything, and that this was literally before they filmed the season finale.
That's so
So I was
funny.
like, I wonder if he knew that they were gonna.
they've been setting it up for a while. Yeah.
But they're cute together. That's the thing. Like I'm like, instead of
Yeah.
all this Kyle and Christy nonsense, I'm like, why couldn't we have had more John and Lana?
Yeah. They were good together in the scenes that they've had.
Also,
but-
by the way, was Kyle just was Lana just a little too chill with Kyle just coming like, me and Christy are pregnant.
I don't think so. I think she's trying to be supportive, and
Or was that her being
I don't
polite
know.
just because the children were right there? Or she was like, because I was like, wow,
yeah,
like
maybe.
you guys have been divorced for like what, like 6 months, and you're already okay with like I don't know. He just seemed very like too happy about it.
I don't think she's happy. I just think she's. I don't know.
Just
yeah,
smile
it's-
and nod, smile and nod.
Yeah. But in regards to season 5, I mean, slim chances, but you would like to think, you would like to hope that they could get one more season in. I think 5 would be a good place to end. But I think right now we're all thinking, let's just get through season 4. Let's see when they announce. Is it going to be the ending? Are we going to get another 10 episodes? We'll have to wait and see, Gary. But yeah, thanks for the super chat. Mike sends in the final super chat of the stream. Thank you so much, Mike, for the super chat. Mike says, how do you think season 4 will start? Superman killing Doomsday, or them killing each other, or a time jump, or something else?
If
What
they
do
do
you
a
guys
time
think?
jump, I will actually yell at Todd Helbig. I'm like, what the actual fuck?
surely you have to play it out. You have to play the scene out.
I want to see him like flying through space, kind of like maybe crash into Saturn, fall accidentally on Mars,
awesome.
and like maybe just they happen to see David Harewood just sitting there like fish, not fish.
What's up, guys?
Not fishing, not fishing on on Mars, but like
Just put Doomsday in the sun. That's how you defeat him, I guess. Oh, that's just gonna power him. He's a Kryptonian.
like would that actually kill him though? Because
No.
no, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Because remind me in Inverse world.
Oh, it's a red sun.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so he would be weakened actually, but he's just super strong anyway. So yeah, actually sticking him in the sun and forcing him to stay there.
But now I don't know.
But now I'm not sure with all the mutations since the experiment. So yeah, I'm thinking they have to start with this again because it's a big ass cliffhanger, and skipping forward 3 months or something like that, people are gonna be mad. I don't think there's any way they can do that. I think.
Could you imagine we wait a whole year for the show to come back, and they do that cat is adorable. I'm sorry. We wait a whole year, and then they come back in the premiere like. So Clark has been missing for 4 months. Like, what do you mean 4 months? What do you mean he's been missing? That's my kind of like, Jordan, get your ass up there and just start looking for him.
Yeah, at least like scope him out, see what's up, right? Even if you're not gonna defeat Doomsday yourself, I don't know how they're gonna defeat him.
This is a really, really interesting. Like, I didn't think this would be the conversations we're gonna have in between seasons. Like, how is this going to start? Once again, I go to the marketing side of things. I'm like, okay, you can't promote past episode 1. You almost can't. It's impossible because you're going to spoil your whole season. You're going to spoil the whole meat and potatoes here. So it's like you either start off with a cold open back into the fight. So when you watch it on Max later, you'll just go from the end cliffhanger to the thing. That's the way I view it. So it's like you could do that. I honestly could see it opening with a Lois Lane narration saying Superman's gone because she's now back in Metropolis. The kids are in Metropolis. That's her first report back at the planet.
Can I say I love her narration starting the episode?
They were, buddy, when you say gone, like, do you mean like gone as like missing or dead?
See, because I don't know, because 10 episodes like that. Because if John Henry isn't back, we're not going to get Tal Rowe back. The Reign of Superman idea that I had is probably not going to happen because I was thinking you get all of them back for a few episodes, then send them off. That would be cool. But I don't know if we're going to get that. In 10 episodes, we have to see the Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Clark Kent final encounter, which I thought would take up all 10 episodes on its own merits. But now Superman, we're apparently doing the death of Superman. That feels like a whole season. It feels like that's a lot for 10 episodes. I feel like if they're going to kill him or not.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to resolve Doomsday. Like,
well, I mean, I think there's a chance. Here's another way. If there's another budget solution, is if Tyler is gone literally for 2 episodes, for example, like where Clark is dead or whatever. That is a way to bring back other cast members. But also I agree with Buddy. Like you would think that now that they have everything in place with. John Henry Irons, Tal Rowe sort of as our Eradicator, and Jordan as our Superboy. It's kind of like we have everything in place. Wouldn't this be the time to do one? So it's like I don't know, maybe like if Clark dies in the premiere, and then episode 2 and 3 he's gone. Episode 4 we start like seeing that he's coming back. In episode 5 he's fully alive. That would also at the same time. That would give Lois a chance now to really take a center stage of the show.
True. Yeah.
Where it's not just about cancer, because that was my biggest thing that I had.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because the thing was like, I said this on other streams as well. I'm like, if this show gets canceled, this will be the biggest story. I don't want to look back on the show and think, oh, the biggest story she had on the show was almost dying and having cancer. So like this would be a nice way to kind of flip it on its head. But I don't know. Again, until the strike is over, like I honestly don't know how far the writers have thought about this.
Right.
Yeah, I think they've just thought about the end of the Doomsday fight, how they kill him, I guess, or get rid of him.
I guess in Ben's world, I guess if Ben could have it his way, Tyler is gone for 2 episodes, and that's how we get Melissa for a few episodes.
Yeah, we get like a whole super family
Ben,
team up.
Ben, I'm giving you a challenge for season 4. You can put Melissa in any of your thumbnails for these 10 episodes.
I haven't actually last season. I don't think I did it for any review, so
so
that's a record.
Buddy,
I
you see
definitely didn't.
you see the lies he spews. Let's
I definitely didn't.
Oh no! Oh no!
let's
Did you?
I guarantee you I didn't.
Let's see.
I don't remember doing.
I don't remember seeing any, but
I don't think so.
Oh, he is so lazy that he updated his Supergirl playlist 7 days ago. So, but let's look at this. Let's look at this playlist from Super Lois.
Not the first episode review. No.
Not scroll.
Oh! Wait a minute now. It's in the
Episode
playlist.
2.
Wait, no, wait, hold on.
Not episode 3.
Man, you need to stop using that photo of Grant. Stop using that photo. It's like in so many of your thumbnails. Buddy, you know which one I'm talking about?
Episode 6.
I do know what you're talking about.
Not episode 7. Not episode 8.
Supergirl's John Cryer now returning confirmed.
That was ages ago, though.
That was 6 months ago.
Episode 10. No. Episode 11. No. Episode 12.
The
no.
Flash and Supergirl getting recast. DCEU slate explained.
No, I didn't use it for any reviews this season, so congrats to me.
No,
You know
hold
what?
on.
No Supergirl. No, I just
That's
checked through all of them.
impressive. I didn't see any.
Yeah,
I thought I did.
Commendation.
Ben, Supergirl spin-off show announced Martian Manhunter show coming to the sea.
Oh, I don't remember that. So
That's in your playlist. I'm looking at it right now.
I don't remember that. Supergirl.
Oh, Ben.
I haven't made a Supergirl video in a while.
Because the show is fucking over, Ben. That's why you haven't made a video about it. Jeez.
I know, because I'm making videos about the DCU and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, but again, like the fact that you still find magical ways to like Supergirl spin-off coming to the CW. There was never no spin-off about talking about Supergirl spin-off.
No,
coming to
but
the
some
CW.
of them are Q&A videos that I think you're finding where people have asked me a question. Anyway, yeah. So
You know
what
thumbnail.
that's what you said first. So I
Okay.
did succeed in one thing. Okay, so that pretty much does it because we're over the hour mark. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this season of Superman Lois, and hopefully you're excited for Superman Legacy sometime in 2025, actually in July.
July 11, 2025.
Superman.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get delayed.
Can you bring it closer? Oh, I love that artwork.
Yeah, so it was so beautiful.
That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, that pretty much does it. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Andy, for joining, as well as Chainsaw.
Thanks for having
Obviously, he was here through most of the stream. But yeah, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Check out any recent videos. Andy is linked in the description below. I'm going to link Buddy as well. So go check them out. All right. See you guys later. Goodbye.